fortunately for our cause, the IDF does a great job in destroying their own image by themselves. Like the images and the videos that they put out is, I mean, it's like I I I watch it sometimes and it's like, there is no way you thought this was a good idea. There's just no way you thought. I can't believe. I mean, they will show a bunch of soldiers from the IDF standing in the foreground, and you'll see like a housing complex in the background, like 13 buildings, and then them pushing the plunger, laughing their asses off as it all goes tumbling down. It's like, how do you think this possibly makes you look good?
It's so crazy. They will post fucking videos of them holding women's undergarments from homes they've like destroyed, homes they've raided. Like it's ridiculous. It's the most stupidest, like the most like objectively comically evil army I think I've ever seen. Like a comic book level of badness.
Really and so evil. Well, now I've seen a lot of evil in the U.S. Army. I've seen some like horrendous shit. But you know what? Like whenever we had that, there was a unit in, man, I can't remember if it was Afghanistan or Iraq, but they got in trouble because the soldiers were taking trophies of war, and not trophies of war like when people raided Saddam's palace and stole the gold. Like I wasn't even mad at those guys, honestly. I was like,
good for them, honestly. I'm not even mad.
It's he's dead. I'm sure he doesn't need it anymore. But guys were stealing, like ancient artifacts. Okay, not cool. But what these guys were doing, they were cutting off the ears of people they killed and like making necklaces out of them and shit. Like it was Jesus just Christ. Horrible shit. Yeah. So and then Abu Ghraib, when like they torture those people, put it on video and everything. When that happened to the US government, they didn't like release that as a brag. Yeah. Like no one put that online to say, oh, look how cool this shit is. That did not happen. And the Israeli army is doing it. Like it seems like every day. Like it's really strange. Like who was approving this? I just like, what do they think this is gonna do?
Yeah. What is the hierarchy of command where like all of these videos are just getting put out? Like which sergeant is like just like, that's a good idea.
That's honestly what I was thinking, because you can't just do that. At least in the United States Army, you can't. Yeah. Like, you're in uniform. You want to release some shit, especially if it's combat related. It's got to go through like 30 channels before someone okays it for very good reason. But it seems like brand new recruits are just uploading shit to TikTok or whatever of them, mowing down a city. You know what's even worse?
Every video.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead. I was saying every video is like that.
What's even worse than that is like this one isn't as bad as on a destructive level. On it's like you're not stealing people's property or destroying buildings or shooting people. Is when you see like the thirst traps that they'll post or some shit. Like,
oh yeah,
they'll post it like they're on the beach in bikinis and shit. Like, oh, can't wait till this is ours. And it's like wild. This is like the best example of the banality of evil I've ever seen.
You like real life watching it unfold is crazy. And like the soldiers will, and this is why like I really question the fucking hierarchy of command, because every video I see, it's just a bunch of like, and they'll all look like between the ages of like 20 and fucking 30.
Yes.
They'll just walk around. They'll just be walking around. Like they'll just be hanging out. Every fucking video, they're just a bunch of fucking guys with guns, just fucking kicking it. And that's how I know that it's intentional propaganda, but it's like weirdly made,
Yeah, I saw this one and it was it showed like so you remember when they were planting mines on this building to blow it up. They put like 21 mines in a building and it exploded with like 21 of the soldiers in it, and it released the names of the soldiers and their ranks. That was a weird read because I saw like 21-year-old commanders and like 22-year-old like what kind of army is this? And so like I don't know what the hell is going on in this place, but it's like it is chaos out there apparently.
Yeah, it's really weird because I don't even see the ground invasion force really like doing that much. They don't like any army, if they're trying to make propaganda, like they would at least post videos of them like getting into some action. You know what I mean? Like, for the for the glory of country or some shit like that. Like, and that's what like you'll see like the Palestinian resistance fighters. That's like the videos. Anytime you see the videos of Palestinian resistance fighters, like it'll be them like fucking fighting tanks and shit. Like, and then when you see something from the IDF, it's like them shooting a rocket launcher at an already abandoned building. Like, first of all, what even is the point of that? Like, is that not a waste of ammunition? I'm not from the military, but like, is that a thing that just happens where you guys they just go into like fucking abandoned areas and just blow shit up for fun? Like, is that a thing that even happens in the army?
Well, it is when that building is occupying valuable real estate that you want to develop later on. Something else.
Right,
That's when you
right.
do it. But you are so
Okay.
right about the propaganda videos, because the propaganda videos you see coming from the IDF are, them holding up women's underwear, or them blowing up empty buildings, or driving bulldozers through cemeteries and shit. Like something that's
Oh
just
my God.
designed to make you look like a bad person. However, the propaganda video coming from like the resistance fighters is like one guy with a revolver taking on like 9 troops. Like, okay, one looks a lot cooler if you ask me. If you're talking about propaganda,
Yeah, like one
like
is a lot. Like,
that's
oh
like,
shoot.
if this was a
Um,
movie, we all know which side we'd be rooting for, but for some reason, it's complicated in the real world.
yeah, it's like I don't get it. And the thing is, I don't really get it. Like, what the fucking purpose of that specific types of video are? Who is the audience?
Who's
You
it
know what I mean?
for?
Like, is it Israelis at
Yes,
home?
it's got to be.
Is
It's
I
got to
think
be.
that's what it is.
It's got to
Yeah,
be. It's not for
that's
everybody else, but it's
exactly
got
what
to be
it's got.
that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not working for them, but it's like at this point, I think they just know they can have fun with whatever videos they want because it doesn't matter. They have the US backing them. No country is going to stop them. There's nothing anybody can do to really stop them on a physical way. So it's like they get to make videos and do whatever they want because it's sort of like a victory walk to them. And that's what's really fucked up about it especially when you talk about the banality of evil, because this is really just like, and don't even get me started on the civilians. Did you see how they were blocking aid to Gaza by setting up tents? That was really messed up.
I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. Like I saw like a charge of like civilians
Mm,
holding like Israeli flags to stop food from going to starving children, and then then like standing in front of microphones defending it. It's like, no, why should we send them food? It's like, wow, this is just,
yeah, dude.
oh, it's bad.
Dude,
It's really bad.
they were having a fucking dance party right outside the border. I was like, dude, Jesus Christ! Like, for what reason? It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
folks, hope you
I'm
enjoyed what
ready.
you saw and heard. I'm sure you did. We are professionals after all. But feel free to, like, share, comment, subscribe to your friends, family, enemies. We don't even care. Give it to anyone you can. But we'll toss it over to Ate. Where can we find your stuff, my man?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. If you would like to see, I mostly specialize in talking about films and TV shows from, a progressive leftist lens, and just from like a highly media literacy analytical perspective. And if you'd like to see more of that, you can find me on TikTok. That's where I post the bulk of my videos. That's where I do the most of my work at Destructo Jugo, Jugo with 2 U's. And to follow me on YouTube at Destructo Jugo, where I will start posting video essays. And Destructo Jugo on Instagram as well. So thank you for anybody watching. This was great.
Fantastic, fantastic, man. If you guys trust me, and of course you do, yeah, absolutely should trust Ate. He makes some amazing stuff, and I've been following for a long time, and I cannot recommend him enough. Thanks a lot, guys.